Beyond Dreaming, a guide to awakening consciousness through the path of astral projection and out-of-body experiences by Jean Hart, Part 20, Dreaming. As you are probably sensing by now, my message is a direct one, a call for people to wake up out of the dream of life and really look within. Perhaps if we were in another era, I would describe the awakening of consciousness more indirectly and perhaps more scientifically and academically, dabbling in and out of scientific books and referencing them, trying to convince you of this reality like a university thesis. But I genuinely believe, considering the current state of humanity, that this information needs to be passionately and personably expressed to the world more than ever. There is so much suffering in these times, and many people are increasingly becoming entangled deeper in their minds more than ever. On the other hand, amongst all this, there is an immense opportunity for spiritual realization amongst all the chaos and spiritual darkness of the 21st century. Consciousness can only take so much suffering and illusion until the dam breaks and an influx of peering beyond the dream of life appears. The ideas in this book are becoming more prevalent in collective consciousness, more and more every year, with even younger generations taking an interest. Out-of-body realization can have profound implications on the consciousness of an individual. The process of leaving the body is an awakening in and of itself, an awakening to that which exists beyond physical reality and imagination, beyond delusion. Some may become so shocked at the experience that they may question whether the out-of-body experience was, in fact, a hallucination, but it's simply not the case if one does not over-scrutinize. It is an experience where one realizes and connects the dots between all religions and spiritual traditions. It is a unified field of awareness which any living being can access. It is my sincere hope that these phenomena can be explored more in depth by modern science, but more importantly, by individuals around the world, and that this subject is not seen as strange, supernatural, or fiction, but that it is accepted as a natural and regular occurrence that we all can have, just like dreams, but on an infinitely more profound level. It is first important to understand what actually is the dream state and how it can be a gateway, but also a barrier to having out-of-body experiences. As we grow up as children, we learn how to understand language and interpret the world intellectually. Our parents and schools reinforce the importance of focusing on our future. Thus, this is one place where dreaming begins. We begin to imagine and fantasize about what our future might be in all of its infinite possible timelines. As we grow into our teenage lives, we become more self-aware, and the future doesn't just dwell on our minds, but now the image of ourselves and our egoic makeup dwells on us too. Thus, we deliberate not just on the future, but on present circumstances too, on how we look, our opinions, social status, friends, etc. Thus, we choose our egos and form them unconsciously. The emphasis on childhood here is always on the future. Then, after focusing on the future for so long, we reach middle age and begin to form doubts and regrets about the decisions we made in our lives. Consequently, we begin to have our focus on the past now too. Regardless, what is important to notice is that the entire time, as we imagine our past, present, or future, we are needlessly imagining and visualizing in our minds. That which we imagine is not direct reality, but as we imagine, our mind and subconscious doesn't usually know what's reality or not, and reacts accordingly. Thus, our lives become a perpetual dream while we're awake and also while we sleep. This dream state we live in the waking life spills into our sleep at night. One can simply drop these dream states and improve their chances of coming out of body through giving up on dreaming. Additionally, another reason why there's such gravitation towards these dreams and ideas about ourselves and our lives is identity. There is an inherent need in our souls to feel we belong somewhere, and it derives from our divinity, our core essence that is deep within. However, since most people don't think about or understand what this essence or consciousness is, it is projected instead towards all sorts of things to identify with, whether it's as part of a country, group, family, job, sexuality, gender, diet, hobby, etc. Almost everyone finds something to identify with, and if it's not anything listed above, then the identification can be towards something that happened in life, such as being a wife who divorced, a man who lost his business, or someone who grew up in poverty. The mind always seeks to find identification with life situations to enforce a false sense of self. Yet, this sense of self is not genuine. It is not who you are. Who you are is consciousness, awareness, untainted from these dream projections. You are that silent presence here and now reading this book. It has no identity, no judgment, no personal issues. It is simply you, yet it is also everything that is. Such ego-based identifications can be hard to acknowledge and accept, never mind even going beyond them. With that said, the truth is, as long as you accept and recognize them for what they are, without judgment, you can let go of being attached to them naturally. All that is needed is awareness, just in the same way that shining a torch into darkness makes darkness no longer exist. Through shining the light of awareness into the darkness of the unconscious, we naturally begin to transcend unwanted layers of ourselves. There is a famous saying deriving from Hermeticism, which has been incredibly influential amongst occult and esoteric topics, which is, as above, so below. We can understand this by saying that what happens on one level of reality also occurs in one form or another on every other level. The microcosm and the macrocosm behave alike in a relationship. For example, what we dream in the day, we dream at night. It's clear that we need to stop thinking in order to stop dreaming, but it's also important to be gentle and careful and not too hard on ourselves. It is natural for our consciousness to dream and imagine. We are just too used to abusing these faculties and don't use them effectively. The best way we can learn to use the mind effectively is to give ourselves a break and stop using it altogether for a while, and in doing so, recognize the benefits. One benefit being that when one realizes that they are dreaming in waking life, they have taken the first step to awaken. Dream yoga teaches how to take advantage of the dream state and utilize it for our spiritual advancement. Although interest in this subject is growing, there are many people who have been frustrated in their attempts to have their own personal experience of the astral worlds. Reading books or attending seminars usually leaves the seeker with more questions, doubts, and contradictions. We have given many clues in order to consciously travel with the astral body, so thousands of students have learned to travel in their astral body. However, we have seen in practice that those people who cannot quiet the mind, not even for an instant, who are accustomed to hopping from school to school, from book to book, always inquiring, always preoccupied, struggle more to consciously astral travel. The key is in effort and practice. This starts with the awakening of your consciousness here and now, in the physical world, from moment to moment. To awaken consciousness, we must stop dreaming, and this must be in each moment. When we are in the physical world, we must learn to be awake from moment to moment. We then live awakened and self-conscious from moment to moment in the astral worlds, both during the hours of the sleep of the physical body and also after death. Quoted by Samael Aun Weor.